Hello and welcome to a special presentation from In the Money Media. We've got a show for King's Plate Preview Day at Woodbine, Sunday, July 19th. Peter Thomas Fornatale back with you from the Airstream here in Petaluma, California, joined as I frequently am on these In the Money airwaves by a man you see a lot of. He does such a great job in various roles behind the scenes, in front of the camera, really whatever it takes. Mikee P, Mike Probosi, what's going on, my friend?
Feeling good, Pete. It's a huge day. We're recording this on Saturday here. It's Haskell Day. There's lots of big things going on, but it's a big day for Woodbine on Sunday. Woodbine Oaks, plate trial. Got to get ready for that King's Plate.
And there is a special wager. They've been doing such a good job with these player-friendly pick threes, getting in on that trend. We've got, starting in race number 8, an all-stakes pick three, races 8, 9, and 11. 15% takeout. $5 minimum. I've been playing these every time they come up, Mikey, and they're just a great opportunity for players. And I know you'll be getting involved as well.
Absolutely. And they pay fantastic. That higher minimum, it's just a higher price point. You have to shrink those tickets down and you have that low takeout. That's a huge benefit too. So the pools are big and the rewards are huge if you can connect.
Some breaking news, it sounds like we have. You are going to be making a trip up to Woodbine. I know you've been to many racetracks. Have you been to Woodbine before, or will this year's King's Plate be your maiden voyage?
So I've been to Toronto a few times, but I usually go to Mohawk because I'm a big standardbred guy, of course. So I've been there several times. Haven't gone to the thoroughbred track, though. So it'll be great to get involved there, especially for a huge day. It's like Derby Day up there, so why not? I got to get there.
It's going to be so fun. I'm envious. I will be looking to make my return to Toronto and Woodbine this autumn for the Woodbine Mile. As I've said so many times on these airwaves, what a great time to go. Usually coincides with the Toronto International Film Festival as well. So it's good to get those non-racing partners up for a trip to a racetrack as well. You lure them with the fine dining and great drink options and movies up there, as well as the gorgeous weather in September. And of course, you get a day, 2 days at the racetrack as well. Let's talk about the races in this sequence. We are going to add on. There is a fourth stake on the card, the Woodbine Oaks, a little bit of a shorter field there. So that's one they did not choose for the all stakes pick three, but it's still a good race. And this race number 8 also will connect that with a pick three. And then I guess is there a pick 5 as well that's going to cover some of these races? Let me go through and look at this wagering menu really quick. Yeah, there is actually, no, there is not a pick 5 starting here, but I'll tell you about that when we get to it. Let's kick off with coverage of the 8th race on the card. It's the Grade 2 Nassau for these fillies and mares going a mile. And my opinion is pretty boring in here, or pretty straightforward anyway in here, I should say, Mikey. So I'm just going to go ahead and chime in that I thought there was a chance that Salty Senorita, based on her early pace figures, might have an opportunity to get loose. I think she's got the class to hang with a group like this, and I was focusing my energy, my early energy on her. I don't think it's just as simple as her. There's plenty of ways you can go in this spot, but I was thinking that a runner like the favorite might be a little bit compromised being farther back. How do you see this one?
I agree. I mean, Sultana, the horse from the rails, 2-1 morning line, coming off 3 straight wins, but 1 and a mile and a quarter, 1 and a mile and a half. It's been a little bit since this horse has raced. Now, shows up here going a mile, so this could be a little bit preppish. We'll see. I don't mind Salty Senorita. I think that is a good look. 6-1 morning line there. One that I included, and it's Mike Maker shipping up here. Nice race at Churchill. And then it's proven a little bit. I thought last time without Lasix, well, gets Lasix back now. And I do think could control this race. So I think it's a good spot. But my top pick is the 6, Bessie Abbott. This one's 8-1 morning line. And if you look back at that Royal North back on June the 27th, this horse had a very difficult trip. I know it doesn't really look like that on paper, but it was just behind a wall of horses. That was 35-1 in there, but really didn't get the run of the race. When she finally got room, she really took off late and ended up 3rd in there. So I just like the way that she comes in here. It's Cassie. I like the improved figure last time. There's just a lot to like for me at a good price point. So let's see if Bessie Abbott can get a better trip and maybe get a little bit of a price.
I like it. Should I list the 3 among your official selections as a backup, or are you all about the 6 here?
Yeah, 6 and 3. And then the 4 is very obvious in there also via Arena. That one is 5-2 morning line there. Ships up for Jack Sisterson off a couple really nice Churchill races. I mean, this one racing the Distaff Turf Mile, Classic Cube, Portfolio Duration, Pin Up Betty. All 3 of those are graded stakes type horses. it's a good spot for this one, but just a little hit and miss for me, and I think could take a lot of money.
I don't hate the idea of including as a backup where you could via Vina Aranya, a horse that we've talked about plenty on these airwaves. This was a darling of Frank McGoey's, if you'll remember, Mikey,
Mm-hmm.
when she was working down at the fairground. So I'll throw that one on as a backup on my tickets that we're gonna send around to our friends at In the Money Plus, inthemoneypodcast.com/plus if you're interested in learning more about all the stuff we do over there. But for now, let's move on to the plate trial itself. This is a big competitive field. Mikey, I'm just going to throw the ball right in your court before I give you my goofy idea.
Yeah, the plate trial is always a little tricky, right? Because you have horses that are stretching out to this mount in eighth, and there are a lot of sprinters that show up in here. I do think that sometimes trainers hold back. They're better. This is all Canadian bred horses, so they're leading into what they consider the Derby in the King's Plate. So you always get a mixed bag in here. I like prices though. I want horses that are going to get the distance, and I like the 11 Pile River. This one's 8-1 morning line off a nice maiden win, and you had a couple turf races down at Gulfstream and at Churchill. Lost to Prepped at Churchill on May the 1st. Well, that was Oaks Day, so that was a really nice race that this one came out of, and came up here and galloped there on June the 14th. So I do like the outside post. I think that this horse could take off early, definitely known speed, hopefully gets the right trip, and certainly is bred to go long. So I do like that one in this race. I wouldn't argue with Military Time. I do think that one, for Cassie, he always, has these really nice Canadian bred horses. They paid $350 for this one. It's Gunrunner on the top. And I do think the stretch out should be fine. If you look back at 2, he raced pretty well in a stake race there on November 29th, going a mile and an eighth. So it always takes money. I think it should be one that I want to have on side, but give me the 11 at a price.
I'm with you on wanting a price on top. I'm with you on the 4 Military Time being a deserving favorite. Here's my goofy idea, and it could just be that it's possible that the distance is going to find this one out. But I just thought if you go back and you look at the very special run last time, I think you can make a case that he ran pretty well, all things considered, given the trickiness at the break. That race was run very fast, internal fractions. He made a move up into that. I just think this horse has talent. He was bet to 6-5 in there, and I don't think that was the effort I don't think that was anywhere near his best effort given all the trouble that day. I think he's a horse that could really run 10 15 Beyer speed figure points better given how unexposed he is. And Kevin Attard at 15-1 on the morning line, that's very appealing to me. So I'm going to go with very special, the 2 runner, who I just think is a runner who could improve, and I'll definitely be saving with the 4 Military Time as well in the plate trial. So we'll take a break from the all stakes pick 3, and we'll talk about this Woodbine Oaks, because as we've seen over the years, often could be an even more important pointer for the King's Plate than the King's Plate trial itself. This is another one where I'll chime in quickly because I think I don't have a whole lot to say. I thought Luster, the favorite, looked really, really strong in this spot. Ran faster than the boys on the prep day in the equivalent stake. That was a really nice effort, I thought, back in the Saline, and just the sort of the prototypical done nothing wrong, headed the right direction. And I think with only 4 runs, you could say she's still unexposed as well. Are you with Luster or against her?
I'm with her. I thought she was awesome last time, and she was able to rate a little bit. I got a little bit of a setup there, but never looked a loser there the whole way around. And now you get Johnny V to show up. He's ridden her before down at Keeneland. That one won a 1X nicely over the grass at Keeneland back in April. So this one, I think, has a little class to her. I think she's supposed to win. She just looks better, looks faster than these horses. I don't necessarily trust Piper's Gift. I understand the love that one's going to get coming off the Fury win, but I do think the distance could be a little tricky for that one. I do think if you're going to back up, maybe Katie's Grace, the 3, ran behind Luster, had a little bit of the trip in there. Luster definitely got the jump on her that day. So I do think that one did improve with a little bit of distance. Would be the other horse for me, but really heavy Luster.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm okay taking on Piper's Gift in this spot. And if we're going to be landing on the favorite. Probably a good idea to not use the second choice. And then I think your Katie's Grace idea is interesting at a price. That's the 3-runner one to maybe, is this the kind of deal where you'll play the 2 in an exacta and then maybe weight it in your pick bets that go through this race?
Yeah, I do. I like her because I'm against a couple of the other ones like Piper's Gift and Dixie Law. I mean, Katie's Grace outfinished Dixie Law last time. Dixie Law had no excuse, to be honest. And you would think that one would have been a little better in that spot. So the increase in distance, I think, is going to help Katie's Grace. So yeah, I would be heavy Luster on top, but I certainly would use a little Katie's Grace on top and a little bit of a backup in Maltese also. I do think that one is going to play well, especially if you can beat the favorites.
And this is the race that kicks off that late pick 5 that I was referring to before. One more race to talk about on this show. It's the Connacht Cup Grade 2 action. Race 11 here at Woodbine. 7.5 on the turf. When it comes to our pick 3, our all stakes pick 3 here at Woodbine on Sunday, Mikey, how are we going to get paid?
I want prices in this race, Pete. We're used to this race being on the outer turf. Well, we're going 7.5 on the inner, still on the inner there. There's so much speed in this race. And so I'm going to try closers, and I don't mind Wyoming Bill. This one's 15-1 morning line.
We are back after a brief pause. Are you back? Are you back, Mikey? Are we back?
I'm kind of back.
For those watching along or listening at home, power outages in the East Coast. I know exactly where we were. I think everything's going to be okay. Mikey, why don't you restart with your analysis of the Connacht Cup?
Okay, so I was going with closers in that race. I was the 4, 7, 8. It's going to be prices. There is a ton of speed in that race. So I expect plenty of speed early. And I do believe Wyoming Bill, 15-1 morning line would be my pick number 4. I would include a little 7 and 8 on the back end. But hopefully we can get a price to finish up this $5 pick 3. Wide open stakes turf race to finish.
4, 7, and 8, Mikey's numbers here. I agree with Wyoming Bill. I actually had him as one of my 2 numbers. He was my closer I was going to throw in there. I did think sometimes on this inner, it can be a speed of the speed kind of course. And if it is a speed of the speed situation, I think that'll play into the hands of Maycox Bay. So I want him as well. 3 and 4 for me to close this thing out. But I don't mind your idea at all of maybe playing a set of tickets trying to get this thing for a collapse. Well, there you have it, folks. That is our analysis of Woodbine on Sunday. Plate trial day. Got this special wager to get involved in, and just always great when Woodbine take center stage. One of my favorite race courses. They've been great partners since the very beginning of In the Money Media. Looking forward to getting up there later in the season. And Mikey, envious of you that you'll be there in just a few weeks' time for King's Plate Day. Encourage people to go and check it out. Terrific place with lots of great wagering opportunities. And we're going to have more coverage of them as the season progresses. That's going to do it for this edition of the show. For Mikee P, I'm Peter Thomas Fornatale. May you win all your photos.